Now I wanted to talk about the second reason why I think it's sometimes hard to learn to read. Right, let's look at this first word, dog. Now, some children are not able to hear that dog has three sounds because dog sounds like one sound, dog. And so they need to be trained to know d, og. And so sometimes if you get them to say the word and stretch it out, they can pick out individual sounds. Most kids can pick out the first sound d and maybe the last sound d or g, but those middle sounds, especially those short vowels, are especially hard to hear. And let's also have a look at another complication, that each letter does not have one sound. In English, sometimes the letters are changed by letters around them. So let's have a look at this letter A here. So in cat, it's making an A sound, k, at. But here it's making cake, and it's not even the letter next to it which is changing it. It's this silent E on the end, which is changing the A to an A. Then here it's car, and the R is changing the A into an R sound. So it's k, an R. And then here it's making an all, ka, all, or. It's making an or sound, and those L's have changed the sound. And then we have a situation where these four letters join together, the O, U, G, H, and that can make 6 different sounds, those 4 letters joined together. And those 4 sounds really don't have, those 6 different sounds have nothing really to do with the individual letter sounds. There's no g or h sound in any of the 6 sounds, those 4 letters. So one, we have to begin to hear the individual sounds of the words when they're spoken. Like dog is not one sound, it's actually 3, and so children have to be trained to hear those individual sounds, and learning to spell does that. Then they have to understand the relationships between the letters and what they're doing, and how sometimes groups of letters make one sound, and sometimes those groups letters can make more than one sound, and you just have to know which one it is. And the relationships between the different letters changes the sounds. So you really can't start at the beginning of a letter and just start sounding it out. You have to look at the whole thing in a way and see, oh, there's a silent E on the end, that's going to change that to an A sound. And then I can begin sounding out, going k, a, k, and that's got no sound. So when we learn spelling, we learn all those little rules, and because spelling involves seeing and doing with the pencil and hearing the sounds, it appeals to all ways of learning. And so learning to spell really helps with learning to read, because it helps you understand the letter sounds, it helps you understand the patterns and the way that letters interact, and then you begin to see the letters, the words, as whole words that you can just see. Every time I see the word cake, I don't have to sound k, ache, I can just see cake. But we can't skip straight to the just seeing cake. That doesn't work. What we really need to do is do that step beforehand where each letter has a sound, and sometimes the sound is affected by not only which letter it is, but what other things are doing in the word. And that sounds all very complicated, but as we go through these spelling lessons, I will be talking about all the little tricks that the letters have, and I think you'll find that it will really help.